This video is a free taster clip from my brand new ukulele course, Jazz Beginners. More details later in the video.
When we're improvising, what we're doing is we're essentially making up a new melody for the song over the same chords. The chord progression doesn't change, but the melody does, and we're improvising that melody on top. The chords are still serving the melody. So whatever we're improvising, it's still got to be in the same kind of territory as the melody, but just playing around with it a little bit more. So it's not like we play Fly Me to the Moon or whatever, and then suddenly go off and play something that doesn't really fit at all. I mean, you can do that if you really know what you're doing, but to start with, we need to make sure that we're still in line with the chords. So if we're playing notes from the chord, then that allows the chord to support us. So in this module, we're exclusively going to look at soloing using chord tones. You can play any one of those notes as a melody note in your improvisation. The single note method is simply playing these notes over the chord. So if you're improvising, sometimes you're going to have a backing track or a band to accompany you. Sometimes you might have to accompany yourself, and we're going to look a bit more into the intricacies of that now. Let's first of all just look at solo notes, as if you've got some accompaniment or comping. So let's take a C chord. Let's take a C major 7 chord. We've got the notes C, E, G and B. We could just hold this shape and pluck any combination of these notes, and it's going to work. All of those notes, because they're part of the chord, fit the chord, and therefore you're not going to have any wrong notes. So you can simply take any chord shape, say an E7, and just play around with all those different picking ideas and find some things that you like, and you can then record those as well and use them in your solos. Works with any chord shape, because if you want to play the same notes as the chord, if you're already doing the chord, then it works. You can, of course, do other things as well, such as those same notes in different places. So we've got our C major 7, C, E, G, B. We could play a C here as well, which would mean some left hand movement. Then we could go up to an E, this E, and that G. All sorts of things like that. You've got so many options. You can either just hold the chord position or reach up to other places where those notes exist as well. Have you ever thought about playing jazz on the ukulele? Believe it or not, the ukulele is really well suited to playing jazz, and there's a whole host of stuff that you'll be able to do with your ukulele that you will never have done before and you'll never do elsewhere. So why not come and study some jazz ukulele on my brand new online course? The Jazz Beginners course takes you right from the basics, where you only need to know a handful of chords and strumming techniques, and by the end of the course you'll be able to play dozens of jazz standards really well. We've got hours of videos split across 7 modules and over 40 lessons, most of which come with a downloadable PDF and activity pack. You'll learn how to play with others, as well as gain more independency as a musician. I've been playing jazz ukulele all of my life, and I'm constantly exploring and finding new things, and through these courses I'm going to be sharing some of that information with you. So why not head over to matthewquilliam.co.uk and begin your ukulele journey today.
Because you are all I long for, all I worship and adore.
Now, if you're trying to solo on your own, you're not going to have the luxury of some accompaniment, which means you still need to play the chords. Let's say we've got the chord progression D minor 7, G7, C major 7, one more time. What you would normally do is you would imply the chord by strumming it on the first beat that it occurs, and then you would just improvise for the rest of that bar. So you might have the D minor 7, you strum, and then you could do some picking on that shape. Or if you wanted to, you could go up a little bit higher. There I was using A, C, D and F, just the same notes as the D minor 7 chord, but all on that A string, and I just strummed the D minor once. Then on the G7 you can do the same. And then on the C major. So here's what that might sound like at tempo. So why not head over to matthewquilliam.co.uk and begin your ukulele journey today.
Because you are all I long for, all I worship and adore.